When the dog suddenly broke free that afternoon, every officer's hand froze in terror. Men shouted, someone reached for a rope. Someone yelled, "Grab the dog!" But no one moved. Everyone knew the truth. No one could tame this dog. Not trainers, not officers, not even his former K9 handler. Nobody could get within 10 feet of him without risking their life. Men who had spent their whole lives around dangerous animals stood frozen, gripping the wooden fence. Because in the middle of the open yard stood a police dog once labeled untrainable, a beast that had sent grown officers to the hospital. He had attacked every handler, broken through steel kennels, and shattered training records. In all the worst ways, this wasn't just any dog. They called him Beast, the most dangerous police dog ever taken off duty. For months, nobody could touch him. Nobody could calm him. Nobody could tame him. But today, something impossible was about to happen. A tiny girl, no more than 6, walked straight toward him. "Get her out of there," someone shouted. She didn't scream. She didn't run. She simply took one calm step forward, and then another. The dog lunged. Men yelled in panic. Then the little girl did something shocking, something no one expected, in just 3 seconds. And the dog that terrified grown men did something no one could explain. Stay with me, because what this little girl did next will leave you absolutely speechless. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The dust over the ranch always settled slowly in the mornings, drifting lazily over the wooden fences and the wide open fields. But today, it hung in the air like a warning. The men leaning against the fence weren't talking, weren't laughing, weren't even moving. Their eyes were fixed on the massive German shepherd pacing inside the training pen, his claws scraping the ground, his breath sharp, his body tense like a coiled spring ready to snap. His name was Rex, a name once spoken with pride throughout the police K9 unit, now whispered with fear across the ranch. Rex wasn't just any dog. He was the most infamous police K9 the department had ever trained. He had passed every obstacle, every obedience test, every field scenario, until everything changed. A single mission had shattered him, turning discipline into unpredictability, loyalty into explosive aggression. 3 trainers had failed to control him. 2 officers had been bitten. 1 handler had nearly been hospitalized. After that, the department made a painful decision. Rex was unfit for duty, but putting him down sparked arguments, emails, and heated meetings. Some believed he deserved another chance. Others insisted he was too dangerous to save. Finally, the compromise was made. Rex would be sent miles away to a ranch specializing in impossible cases, a place where wild horses, rogue cattle, and untamable dogs were given their final shot at redemption. But the men here quickly realized, Rex wasn't like the others. He wasn't wild. He wasn't feral. He was haunted. Every sudden noise made him snap around violently. Every shadow made him growl. Every command made him recoil or attack as if the very air around him was filled with ghosts only he could see. "Stay back," one ranch hand warned, gripping the fence with white knuckles as Rex slammed against the gate with a furious bark. "This one ain't fixable." The head trainer, a grizzled man with a thick beard and sunburned neck, shook his head slowly. "Every animal's fixable," he muttered, though even he didn't sound convinced. Another rancher spat into the dirt. "Not this one. That's a police dog gone bad." The words stung, hanging heavy in the air. Rex wasn't a monster. He wasn't evil. He was broken. And nobody, not the department, not the trainers, not the ranch hands, believed anyone could put the pieces back together. Nobody, until the day a little girl stepped onto the ranch. The morning sun stretched across the ranch as a dusty pickup truck rumbled toward the front gate. The ranch hands barely paid attention. New workers came and went all the time. But the moment the truck door opened, every man at the fence did a double take. A little girl, no older than 6, hopped out. Her blonde ponytail bounced behind her, a tiny backpack strapped across her shoulders, far too clean for a place coated in dirt and danger. Her boots were small, her steps confident, and her bright blue eyes scanned the ranch with the calm curiosity of someone entering a playground. Not a rehabilitation center where wild animals were known to lash out. Behind her stepped her father, Ethan, a quiet, hard-working man who had recently taken a ranch job to earn steady pay. He placed a gentle hand on his daughter's shoulder. "Stay close, Lily," he murmured. But Lily wasn't looking at him. She was staring straight ahead, toward the fenced pen where Rex paced like a storm trapped in a cage. Ranchers exchanged uneasy glances. "What's a kid doing here? Ethan should know better. This place ain't safe for children." Yet Lily didn't seem bothered. As they walked past the stables and equipment sheds, she kept glancing toward Rex's enclosure, her face unreadable. Not fear, not excitement, something else. Something that made one of the ranchers shift uncomfortably. When they reached the main office, the head trainer stepped out. "Ethan," he said gruffly, "didn't know you were bringing family." Ethan winced. "Couldn't leave her alone at home today. I'll keep her away from the pens. She won't be any trouble." But Rex had already noticed her. From across the yard, his head snapped toward the truck. His growl deepened. His pacing faltered. His ears pulled forward. Dust puffed beneath his paws as he froze, staring at the tiny girl standing beside the office steps. Lily stopped too. Their eyes met across the wide dirt arena. A strange stillness settled over the ranch, as if the wind itself held its breath. The ranch hands braced instinctively. Rex never paused for anything. Not for men, not for commands, not for food. But he was frozen now, utterly still, watching that small girl with frightening intensity. Ethan hurried Lily inside, unaware of the scene outside. But the ranchers couldn't stop whispering. "Why's he looking at her like that? Does he know her? That dog doesn't know anyone. He hates everyone." Yet the truth was already unfolding. Rex didn't hate her. He wasn't growling. He wasn't pacing. For the first time since arriving at the ranch, Rex was calm, and none of the men could understand why. The afternoon heat settled thick over the ranch, turning the dirt into a fine red dust that clung to boots, fences, and the sweat on every man's neck. The ranch hands had circled around Rex's pen for his daily behavioral test. Nothing special, just a routine drill the head trainer insisted on. But nothing about Rex was ever routine. Inside the enclosure, the German shepherd tore back and forth like a bolt of living thunder. His paws churned clouds of dust, his muscles rippling, his teeth flashing each time he snapped at the air. Every man leaned cautiously against the wooden fence, careful to stay inches beyond his explosive reach. "Easy, boy. Settle down," one trainer muttered. Rex responded with a vicious snarl that made the man jerk back. Nobody could tame him. Everybody knew it. But today, something else was about to happen, something no one could have guessed. Across the yard, Ethan walked out of the office, wiping sweat from his forehead. Beside him, tiny Lily bounced lightly on her feet,